onto your spine. So Shavasana is a pose that is very grounding, gives the spine a lot of support. So feel free to take your arms slightly away from your body, turn your palms up. Feel free to close your eyes. Start to feel into your senses widening and opening. So we won't use any music today. I have been doing some reading in this time, and I've been coming back to some reading of a book called Awakening the Spine by Vonda Scaravelli, and I was reading some of her notes today. So I'm just going to start with this. It says, yoga, let it be a way to free ourselves from habit and certainty. Every time you come to something, you don't know anything. So that can create some uncertainty in itself, but this is the practice. So why I say that, a big part of it is because I want you to drop into this unwinding instead of trying to strive and find the poses like your mind is telling you to. We're kind of undoing our conditioning and our habits, and we're really just being in our bodies as we find these different forms. And as you do that and you let your breath really guide you into these forms, you're going to notice and feel spaciousness in your body. Your breath is going to effortlessly slow down. And so this is where the practice starts to become this effortless effort. So let go of the striving, the trying. So just feel that here in Shavasana with your spine completely supported. Lots of grounding in Shavasana. So we do this on purpose. Just feel into your support. So from the back of the head all the way, the back of the torso, the back of the pelvis, feeling into the back of the legs to the heels. So in stillness and support, the body begins to let go. So feel this and then notice the breath. Every inhale, the belly is rising, the ribs are expanding, the collarbones are lifting. Feel the invitation on the exhalation. So there's this pull from gravity, grounding you, supporting you. Feel the opportunity to let go here. So you can keep coming back to this, remembering that whenever you're feeling anything that's going on in your body, for that moment, you're not thinking. So keep being drawn back to the intelligence of your body. Let it guide you through this very accessible practice, which can be whatever it needs to be for you. So feel into a few more breaths. Every exhalation, the belly sinks, the body drops down a little bit more into your mat. And even notice on the exhalation, the belly sinking, noticing and feeling, again, that letting go. So we want to stay very present in our bodies as we practice our asanas. So just remember that. Start to slowly open your eyes. Wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit. Draw your knees in towards you and just roll over to one side. And you're going to find what's called child's pose. So we're going to make our way up into standing, but what I'm going to invite you to do is find child's pose. So you're going to find yourself in Your big toes might come together and your pelvis might drop back towards your heels. You might reach your arms forward and bring your forehead to the ground. And just feel the body starting to spread out into your mat, finding your space. Feel the breath being invited into the back of your body here. Nice exhalations. So the word MODO means a place for everyone. So this is beautiful, and it's invitation for you to find your place. Even for this 90 minutes, it's just in and on your mat, being invited home to the intelligence of the body by each exhalation. So feel into the invitation. Slowly draw yourself up into table pose. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees off the ground, root into your hands, and drop back into the balls of your feet. So there's a big bend in your knees. Your head is now below your heart. Long exhalations as you feel into your breath. So downward facing dog, we'll come back into this a little bit more. But then you're just gonna walk your hands and your feet together. Okay? Bend your knees as much as you need to get your fingers, maybe even your knuckles on the ground. So your belly might even be on your thighs. You're just kind of draped. Not a lot of effort here, just feeling into your head being below your heart. As you start to push into the balls of your feet a little bit, engage a little bit more through the feet. Slowly come up with a nice neutral spine, roll your shoulders up and back. And there you are. Awesome. Okay, so I see some people on Zoom, and then whoever's starting us on Facebook Live. Maybe you're out enjoying the sunshine and you come back to this recording. Again, just listen to your body, take little sips of water as you need to. Okay, I'm not being cued by seeing you in person. So again, this really becomes your practice. So I talk about this pose a lot. It's called mountain pose. So I invite you to really feel into this. Get your feet on the ground, toes are pointing forward. Your arms can even come down to your side. So Tadasana translates as mountain pose. So again, I was reading about the spine, the body, and gravity today, quite a bit. And so there were these three words that kept coming up, and it was ground, breath, spine. So we always want to connect to our grounding first. So feel the pull of gravity from the waist through your legs, down through your feet into your mat. And then begin to feel the breath. So we don't want to manipulate or make anything happen with the breath at first. So just feel the breath in your body. And on the exhalation, it's like your upper body gets a little bit more spacious and tall. So Tadasana is a practice. There's nothing to physically do here. See if you can feel where you're holding any tension, and just allow that to be surrendered on your exhalation. So we're going to start with a breathing technique where we're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. So we get really connected, our feet on the ground, draw your hands to your heart. Again, if this is something new for you, watch me do a round and then join in. Inhale through the nose. And as you exhale through the mouth, fingers are going to interlace and your palms are going to press down. So it's like you're pressing and emptying everything out. As you inhale, reach your arms up, take your gaze with you and stretch and open the front of the body. Exhale through the mouth. Take your gaze to your knuckles and lengthen out the back of the neck. I want you to find your rhythm here. As you inhale, reach up, take your gaze up. As you exhale through the mouth, the fingers come across the heart center, the fingers interlace, and the palms press down, and you're lengthening the back of the neck. Inhale, reach up, maybe pause at the top of that inhale as you feel your feet being pulled down and your upper body reaching up. Exhale through the mouth. So your rhythm doesn't have to follow mine. Find a few more rounds. Inhale, reach up. Exhale through the mouth. Let's try for 2 more rounds. Inhale, come up. You might even close your eyes. Who knows? Do what feels right here. Inhale, reach up. Long exhalation through the mouth. And then just come back and be in mountain pose. Eyes open or closed. You might even put one hand on your chest or your diaphragm, one hand on your belly if it feels right. Just begin to feel the breath come back into a really natural rhythm here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Feel this. Awesome. So now you're ready for more poses. So as your eyes open, draw your hands to your heart. And these are all invitations. Just keep feeling into what feels right for you. Find a focus point with your eyes and begin to shift your weight into whatever foot feels right. We're going to start in balance. So I want you to see if you can not grab your foot with your hands. Keep your hands where they are and just start moving the hip joint that you've released. So just feel your hip moving, feel the rest of your body stabilizing, and just move that working leg into any spot that just feels right. If it gets up above your knee, that's fine. If it's still down on the ground, there's no right or wrong here. And so this is called Vrikshasana, tree pose. If it feels right, let your arms release. And then again, it comes back to this undoing, letting go into, I call it relaxed resiliency. So it's not relaxation that's really soft. There's grounding, breath. Feel your spine here. Hear your long exhalations. Try to be here with less effort. One more full breath. And then on that exhalation, feel back into mountain pose, Tadasana. So those heels are rooted, those shoulders are relaxed. Take one full breath and feel the difference already in your body from one side to the other. And then slowly begin to move into the other side. So as you unweight, your body automatically does what it's just designed to do. It holds you. It wavers, it's finding its stability. So again, no right or wrong. Feel into your grounding, that pull from gravity, from the waist down through that standing leg, into the heel of the foot. Let your eyes focus and find your freedom in whatever version of Vrikshasana you're in. So it could even be with your toes still on the ground. Settle into the breath. Long exhalations. And then feel back into mountain pose. So you're going to keep your hands above your head. So there's options here, you guys. You can clasp your hands. It's called Shiva Mudra. So the thumbs cross. I always think of Charlie's Angels. Pointer fingers pointing, fingers release, okay? You can start here, and if you need to adapt, you can, okay? So you get to kind of really reach up, like just reach, like bend your knees, feel your feet being pulled down into your mat. As the knees straighten out, the shoulders relax, so you don't want to be way back here, ribs popping, okay? And you're gonna feel squeezing through the inner thighs and slowly side bend to one side. Okay, so just feel this. If you get any sort of tension into your neck, just drop the inside arm, okay? Because this is all about opening the one lateral side of your body. So feet rooted, upper body's side bending, okay? So you're going up and over, and then the hips and pelvis, just sway them over. Try not to hold tension, ease in the neck, the jaw, find the breath. One big inhale right into those ribs that are opening, okay? As you exhale, push into your feet, come back up. Take your hands to the back of your head and just relax everything as you bend your knees. Okay, so feel that rebound, that push into your feet, squeeze your inner thighs, arms lift. Side bend to the other side. So take your time. You might even sway a little bit with the breath as you find your side bend. Okay, so as you find where you can sit steady with ease, you might want to drop an arm. You might even look at the floor. Feel into your breath. Nice big inhale into the ribs, side bending the body. So good for you. Reaching over. Find that one more inhale. As you exhale, come up. Let the arms settle right to shoulder height, and then take the palms, let them face each other, and you're going to, toes pointing forward, sit your hips back into Utkatasana. So here, go just to a mini chair pose. Very dependent on what you did all weekend, okay? So you're probably gonna start to feel your power and strength in here. Pay attention, your knees are popping out over your toes. Your butt is sitting back. The spine is nice and neutral. So this is a very powerful invitation into your strength, your breath, no tension in the neck, and there's always possibilities here. So it might be that you possibly can sit back a little bit more. Feel the heat in the legs. One more inhale. Exhale, press into the feet, come up. Watch and feel that you didn't lock your knees out as you came up, okay? Palms are facing the floor, shoulder height. So more balance here. So keep those shoulders relaxed and press into the balls of your feet. Squeeze through the inner thighs. So you're really gonna root through the big toe mounds of the feet, okay? Find a focus point. Squeeze through the inner thighs, relax your shoulders. Keep those heels high off the ground and see if you can pop the knees out in front of you. So here it is, that again, this reminder that there's no right or wrong, okay? So if you get to here, be here with your breath. There's possibilities to kind of drop down right onto your heels, keeping your heels high. Squeezing through the inner thighs, ease the shoulders. Find the breath. One more inhale. Just feel whatever you feel. If you're just way at the top there, just feel your quads. One more inhale, come up. And heels drop. Arms relax. Full breath. Tadasana. Awesome. Lots of balance at the beginning of this series. So I don't really know if I'm mirroring you or not. So I do want you to go into your right leg on this. And here, this is my right side, so I don't know if it looks the same. Okay. So just make sure you do your right. And you're basically going to start to find a focus point again and lift your left leg off the floor. So this is called eagle pose, but we're going to bring a bit of a twist into it. So the twist is coming from the upper body, okay? So as you start to possibly wrap the left leg around the right, making sure you don't feel anything in your right knee, see if you can twist to the right and then sink into the pose, okay? Drop a lot into your right heel. Lift your arms, spread them out because hopefully you have lots of space. You might even flex your wrist back and notice what that feels like. Big inhale. As you exhale, bring your arms forward and draw your left arm under your right. Hug your shoulders. Stay here if you need to, or come into releasing the arms, the fingers, and just feel the release. Maybe into your shoulders. So Garudasana, eagle pose, squeezing everything, maybe just a little bit more of a twist. One more inhale. Okay, from here, we're we're gonna come into our first lunge. So as you unwind, reach your left leg back and drop your left knee to the ground. And just feel into alignment here, right knee over your ankle. If you need a block under your hands. And we'll bring ourselves into more of a twist. Squeeze the inner thighs, open to the right. Maybe lift that back knee off the floor. Feel into your toes aren't gripping. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, unwind and step back. And here's our downward facing dog. So get high on the balls of your feet. Take a big bend into your knees. Shoot the pelvis up and back. Drop the head below the heart. Slowly beginning to possibly straighten out the legs as maybe one heel drops to the mat and then the other. Really honor and listen to your body here. So if you need to, you can always come into child's pose. If you want to move a little bit from here, really knowing your body, from here you could do a little vinyasa, warming up, maybe coming forward into plank, dropping the knees to the ground, tops of the feet to the floor as you go all the way to the mat. Inhale, cobra. And then as you exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. So feel into your breath here. I'll be giving you lots of possibilities here for vinyasa. 2 more breaths if you want to go through one more vinyasa, maybe at a faster pace, maybe doing the fuller poses. And just coming back into downward facing dog. Feel the exhalation inviting you there. And then make your way back up to the front of your mat. Find your Uttanasana where you're really in the front of the balls of the feet there. Okay. As you press into the balls of the feet, the knuckles might even be pushing into the floor a little bit to lengthen and energize from the ground. Breath, spine, feel your spine lengthening. As you drop back into your heels, coming back into chair pose. So sit back, feel the heat starting to generate even though we're not in the hot room, okay? Sitting back as far as you comfortably can, but really slow, and as you exhale, push into the floor. If you get dizzy, look down. If it feels right, start to take your gaze up to the ceiling and inhale, reach up and back. Exhale the hands to the heart. And just take a big pause here. Long exhale. Feel the difference in the body from one side to the other. Sensation, aliveness through the body. Feel this. Okay, as your eyes open, your hands come back to your heart. Shift your weight into your left foot. So let's find all of that on the left side. So as we sink down a little bit into this left leg, this dropping in and pushing up, dropping in and pushing up, great way to feel rebound, okay? Twist the spine. So feel your rooting, your grounding, and then twist the spine to the left. Find your balance, your breath. Wrap the right leg around the left. Open the arms without the ribs popping, okay? Shoulders are relaxed, fingers are spread. If it feels right, reach those fingers back. Nice big inhale. Exhale, release the arms. The right arm under the left. Elbows together, maybe the arms. Settle into squeezing everything together. Bit of rotation, dropping in. Find your breath. Nice big inhale. Okay. As you exhale, feel your unwinding and your right leg goes back and you're in your lunge on the other side. Man, this feels good. Okay, so as you find your lunge, find that goodness. Okay, make sure you're supporting your body to really enjoy and find the joy in all the poses. Okay, so maybe a block, maybe you go into a twist to the left. Option to take that back knee off the floor. Just get nice and long through the spine. So twisting is so good for the spine. Kind of wrings the spine out. Gently detoxifies the organs. Feel one more inhale. As you exhale, unwind. Feel the ground underneath your palms. Drop the head below the heart. Get that pelvis and spine up and back. Big bend in the knees. Heels are high off the ground. The reason why you want to do this is you want to feel your power down into your amazing legs. Okay? Get yourself feeling that in your legs so you're not loading your upper body and palms and wrists so much. Get long through the spine. Nice long exhalations, really guiding you into what to do here. So you might stay in downward facing dog. You might feel you need to just pause and support the body in child's pose. Or you might want to move a little bit through your vinyasa, okay? Eyes can be open or closed. This is the essence of your yoga practice. It's just really being in your body, listening inwardly, and just being prompted to do what feels right. 2 more full breaths. Do what feels right here. And again, as you're really honoring that presence to be in your body, those thoughts just, they're not so inundating, right? So just keep wiring yourself back to your body. Feel this. Get yourself back up to the front of your mat. Find your Uttanasana. So your feet get rooted. And there might be a little bend in your knees. If it feels right, make fists. Like feel your fists go into the floor. And if they're not touching the floor, bend your knees more. If they're still not touching, don't worry about it. Maybe put a block. But if you've got your knuckles on the ground, just like you're pushing into the balls of your feet, you can even push into your knuckles. Really helps to find some space and into that spine. So as your legs start to straighten up, now we're locking out. Feel the sensation. 1 more full breath, Uttanasana. Okay, as you release the legs, sit back and find Utkatasana, chair pose. Find your chair pose. Feel into your breath. So again, inviting you into your strength, sitting back to just whatever feels right here. Keep your gaze low, especially if you feel a bit dizzy. If it's there, sit back just a little bit more. And then on an exhalation, go really slow. Push into the floor. Lift the arms up. Take your gaze up. Inhale. And exhale. The hands come back to the heart. And the arms release. And there it is. Tadasana. So do what feels right with the hands. Maybe they're at your side. Maybe they're connected to your torso. Feel how the poses, they're called asanas, have helped to bring some release of stress and tension out of the physical body. This creates space in the body, within you and all around you. Feel this. This is the gift of mountain pose. Okay, so just make sure you're up at the front of your mat. If you need that sip of water, grab a sip of water. And again, just try to follow the cueing of what side you're doing, just because I'm not sure how it's looking to you, okay? So from the front of your mat, Tadasana, you're gonna step your left leg back, okay? So this is called Warrior One. And you're facing the front of your mat, okay? So you can see in my feet that I'm not on a balance beam. You can actually see both my feet, Okay, so I want your pelvis square to the front of the mat, and it really doesn't matter how far back you step, because you want to just step to the point where you can still stay rooted through your heel. Front knee bends. Ease in the shoulders, which are stacked over your hips. There's a pull from gravity here. So as you find your space, your front foot might start to walk forward. And then just let your arms rise with ease. So feel that little formula I was talking about at the beginning. Ground, breath, spine. So all of a sudden it might feel like you're not doing anything, but we're actually undoing. And we're feeling effortless effort in a very strong, grounded pose. Warrior one more inhale. As you exhale, open to the left. So find warrior two, where your heels are aligning, and don't worry about how wide you get. Okay, you want to feel pretty solid here as your front knee bends, shoulders stacked over your hips. You can even pretend like you're hugging a tree here. It keeps ease in your shoulders. And then slowly let your arms extend away from your center. And then it's just your head that turns to look at your front hand. So we never want to be rigid and too much holding. We want to feel the fluidity through the body out to the fingertips and the toes. Warrior two. How can you be here with just a little less effort? Explore that. Doesn't that sound nice? Less trying. Open the palms, find ease in the shoulders, and then it's just a slow tip to the right knee. So you want to feel like your left side from your armpit to your left foot is nice and long. You don't want to feel like it's rounded. So you could bend more into your front knee, reach those left fingertips up towards the ceiling, and either take your gaze up or down. Feel your breath. You get nice and long through the spine. So this is a variation, two poses, triangle and extended side angle. Feel your breath. Nice expansive inhale, exhale, come back to warrior two. Find a bit more ease. Look to your right hand. Take your hands down, straighten out your front leg, and turn your toes towards the long edge of your mat. So sometimes I skip this in my class where there's lots of people, but I'm assuming you have lots of space right now, okay? So we're gonna go into a nice wide-legged forward fold. So toes are pointing to the long edge of the mat, big bend in the knees, and just fold down towards the ground, hands coming to the floor or to a block if it's needed, okay? And then just let your body fold into possibilities here. So just paying attention that your knees aren't locking out. Find your breath. Eyes can be open or closed through any of these explorations. You might even just kind of waver back and forth a little bit as you lunge over to one side, maybe the other. Feel into those nice long exhalations. They're like big invitations to release. One more full breath. Okay, walk your hands back up to the front of your mat. You'll find yourself in a lunge and step the right foot back for downward facing dog. Get rooted into the heels of the hands, head below the heart, big bend in the knees, high on the balls of the feet. Sending that pelvis and spine up and back as you find some nice release through the back of the legs. If it feels right, move through vinyasa, maybe plank as you inhale. Chaturanga Dandasana as you exhale. Inhale, open the heart and the spine as you inhale, and then as you exhale, send that pelvis and spine up and back downward facing dog. So 2 more breaths here. Do what feels right. Maybe it's another vinyasa, slowing it down, speeding it up. Maybe it is pausing in child's pose. Feel your breath. Okay, step your right foot forward and tuck your back toes into the mat. Lift your upper body off the floor. You're going to draw your hands to your heart, and you want to feel nice and long through your spine, okay? Bend into your back knee and lift just barely off the ground for warrior 3. So as you find warrior 3, try to flex your left foot, drop your left hip, okay? You can practice here. If you want a bit more challenge, drop into your right leg as you inhale. Go really slow as you exhale, push the floor away from you. This really generates some heat, so do what feels right, but drop in as you inhale. Exhale, push from your core through that right leg to the floor. One more time, drop in, go as far down as you can, and then push and draw the left foot back to the mat. Take some time to just be in mountain pose. You'll really feel a difference here. From one side to the other, just embrace it all. Hear and feel the exhalation. So just like a tree or a flower, there's a rooting system in your body. So it's from the waist down, draws you down into your support, your roots, your grounding. And from the waist up is your enlivening, spacious, light upper body, which is the spine, the heart, the shoulders, the neck. Feel the space from your grounding, okay? As you open your eyes, you're going to step from Tadasana, right leg back. So we're going to start in warrior 1. So as you root into your back heel, so again, in warrior 1, hips, pelvis stay square, okay? Shoulders stacked over your hips. And then just find the release of your arms. No tension in the neck. So sometimes I call it the roommate of the mind. Starts telling you that, or maybe even should you. Okay? So you just say, I hear you, but I'm good. And you just feel your grounding, feel your space. Nothing to do here. Feel the freedom of that. Nice inhale. Okay, warrior 1. As you exhale, open to warrior 2. So find your alignment in your lower body. Very important here. Okay, heels lined up. Back foot points towards the long edge or slightly towards the front. Feel what's happening in that back knee. It's not locking, but it's very engaged. The wider you go, the more challenging this gets. This is the fun part about being the operator of your body, okay? Keep listening. Find the challenges, the places that build resiliency, the discomfort, but it's safe, it's grounded, you've got your breath flowing through the form of the body. This is a big indicator. This is where you need to be, okay? Play with this, constant practice. As you gaze to your left hand, Virabhadrasana 2. What can change just to make it a bit more effortless, but grounded, still finding those edges. So as you open the palms, just tip to the left. So less is more, you don't have to go all the way to the ground. But if you bend more into your front leg and reach the right arm up, long line through the right side of the body, right? Feel your breath going into that right side body. Exhale, push into your feet. Come back up. Relax your arms. Straighten out your leg. Release your toes towards the long edge of your mat. So you can pull it in a bit if you need to, okay? Little bend in the knees, fold forward with the upper body towards the ground. So find the floor and then maybe walk your feet away, wide-legged forward fold, hands to the floor or a block, or maybe you're even just using a chair, okay? Feel all the releases through the back of the legs. On those exhalations, feel the exhales. The invitation to open. That's where the magic happens in your asanas, is on the exhalations. One more big inhale, just nothing to do but feel the body drawing life force energy in. Long exhale. Slowly walk up to the front of your mat, find your lunge, step your left leg back. Find your downward facing dog, big bend into the knees, high on the balls of the feet. Heels of the hands rooting into the ground. It's like the pelvis and spine are just being pulled up and back. Lots of space into your amazing spine here. Your grounding in downward facing dog now becomes your palms. Okay, so feel that. Feel those nice exhalations. Eyes open or closed. Doing whatever feels right. A few more breaths. Maybe it's working through a vinyasa. Maybe moving and pausing. Pelvis to heels for child's pose. Find where you can be with your breath. Okay. And then step the left foot forward. Tuck the back toes into the ground. Lift the upper body off the floor. Take your hands to your heart. Okay, bend your back knee and lift off your back foot. And when we do that, we kind of come forward into our front foot a bit too much. So go back into your left heel a bit more. Try to drop your right hip, flex your right foot. Lengthen out through the crown of the head. Find your balance, warrior three. If you want to challenge a bit more, drop into your left leg as you inhale. Exhale, press the floor away from you. Two more times. Drop in as you inhale. Exhale, press away. One more time, drop in. And then exhale, bring that right foot back to the mat. Our last Tadasana in this practice. Feel your mountain pose. Do whatever feels right with your hands. Feel back into your feet on the ground. Dropping back into the heels. Feel the expansion at the belly, the ribs. As you inhale, as you exhale, there's kind of two movements going on here. There's a pull of gravity from the waist down, and from the waist up, that's where you're getting your space, your lightness. Keep feeling back into your feet, all the way, the rebound to the crown of the head. Slight bend in the knees, inhale, reach up, look up. And as you exhale, bend those knees, fold down towards the ground. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Step back and draw the knees to the ground. And just settle back into child's pose. So in this series, we transition at our halfway point to a floor series. Again, very accessible. Keep listening to your body. When it feels right, roll your spine up shift your weight over to one side, swing your legs out in front of you. If you feel you need a little sip of water, you can grab a sip of water. And you're just gonna find Shavasana, okay? So the top of the head goes to the top of the mat. Arms slightly away from your body, turn your palms up. Might even turn your head, roll it over to one side and the other for a few breaths. If it feels right, let your legs go out to the bottom corners of the mat. Roll your hips out all the way to your feet. So in Shavasana, there's nothing to do and nowhere to go. And there is a lot of support here. So I really invite you to feel into that support. Every point of contact that the physical body has to the support beneath you. Scan through the back of the body. Feel where the back of your head is touching the ground. Next inhale arises, nothing to do, but just feel its movement in your body. Long exhalation, belly sinks, weight of the body drops more into your mat. Feeling every point of contact through the back of the torso, back of the arms, back of the hands. Again, keep feeling, and the inhale, expand the body. Exhale, the delivery of this life force energy moves through the body on the exhalation to every cell. And again, it matches the pull of gravity, an opportunity to let go. So letting go is the result of feeling supported. Feel your support. Every exhalation. The pelvis, backs of the legs, all the way down to the heels. So when we have the opportunity to consciously nourish relaxation and support into the body, very beneficial for all the systems of the body, where there's nothing to do and there's nowhere to go. We're welcoming our senses to be wide open. We're honoring the practice of stillness without holding anywhere. So feel this. Great pose to really nourish for your body, okay? So as we do these next few poses, explorations, just maintain that connection to your grounding, the letting go of any form of striving, okay? And just really continue to be in your body, okay? So adapt as needed, but as you draw your right leg in, okay, you're either going to grab underneath the thigh or around the shin, back of the head, shoulder blades, sacrum stays on the ground, and then just let the left leg release. So please don't be forceful here and don't pull, no striving, okay, no forcing. You're just kind of holding very gently. And you might just start to release out to the side, across to your midline. See how slow you can go here. So we're just inviting a little bit of mobility into the largest joint of the body, your hip joint. And at the same time, you've got some nice, gentle compression into the organs on the right side. So now just come into stillness, feel where you can let go a little bit. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, release the right leg and draw the left leg in. So you're just releasing into possibilities on the left side. And as we explore this, sometimes we start to tense up the shoulders and the neck. Just find some ease. You might notice one side just shows up with different sensation. So I just invite you to welcome that. Maybe don't try to figure it out right now. Just be with it. Find your breath. Come back to stillness. Feel your inhale. Okay, and as you exhale, release both feet to the ground. So this is called constructive rest pose. The feet, knees, hips, and shoulders are all lined up. You're going to take your right ankle, rotate your hip, and take your ankle to your knee. Okay? Very important here to keep the back of your head on the ground. No hands at first. Okay? You're just going to lift your left foot off the floor. You can relax your foot, flex your right foot a little bit, but just start to feel sensation here, and that core automatically activates just because you're drawing it. Okay? If it feels right from here without the head lifting, you're grabbing underneath the left thigh, maybe around the left chin. Relax the shoulders, feel into the breath. You might hear some rattling going on. I think that it's some paper stuff that's going on as they take stuff away from the building. So if you hear tapping, it's just coming from the outside of the building. Thread the needle, feel your inhale. As you exhale, release back, constructive rest pose. Take a full breath. So constructive rest pose is kind of like our neutral grounding mountain pose, but in a supine position. So feel into the body. Take your left ankle to your right knee. Flex the right foot. Draw the right foot off the floor. Just pause here for a bit. Feel what's going on. Okay? Without the head lifting off the ground, if it feels available, you'll grab under the right thigh, maybe around the right shin. Okay? Just play with what feels right where the spine stays nice and connected, no tension in the neck. So thread the needle is all about mobilizing the hips, and of course you're going to feel the possibilities of a stretch depending on where there's tension. So just feel that. One more inhale. And as you exhale, come back to constructive rest pose. So from here, we're going to go into a pose called bridge. Really great to build stability, to open the front of the body. It's also a little bit of an inversion where the pelvis is above the heart. Okay, so we're going to explore little bridge first. So feet, knees, hips, and shoulders all lined up. I keep looking at the screen here, but I want you to stay looking up towards the ceiling. And take the backs of the arms to the ground. I call this robot arms. Palms are facing each other. See if you can push as much as you can into your heels, okay? And lift the pelvis off the floor. So you're really pushing into your heels. You can let your toes come back to the ground now, but then draw those elbows in towards the torso and push into the back of the arms. So take a pause here, you guys. Feel your feet pushing in and away from you. Squeeze your inner thighs and also use your glutes. Push into the back of your arms. Stay looking up to the ceiling, and this might be enough for you, okay? If you want to explore a bit further, keep what's going on in the lower body. Let the palms come down to the ground. Walk your shoulder blades together. Clasp your hands under your pelvis. And lift and open the chest, the heart. Feel into all the possibilities here with your breath. Lots to play with here. Bridge pose, building strength, stability. Just take note where attention starts to go. Invite it back to your body. Feel your feet on the ground, squeeze the inner thighs, whatever version of of bridge pose you're in. Okay, if you've got your hands clasped, you'll slowly release your hands. Your spine rolls down towards the ground. And just take a full pause. So any sort of back bend, opening of the front line can really bring some nice energy into the body. So just feel this. Find your breath. And just draw your knees in towards you. Roll over to one side. And just swing your legs back behind you, and you're going to come onto your mat into what I call prone shavasana. So prone shavasana, just lying on your belly, tops of the feet are on the ground. So today we're going to play with some versions of extension. And again, just utilizing all this nice space we have here. Just draw your arms out to the side with your palms down and bring your forehead to the ground. Feel the tops of your feet on the ground. Lift your kneecaps, squeeze your inner thighs. Feel your inhale. And as you exhale, lift your palms off the ground. Swing your arms down. And then peel your face off the floor. Pause here as you inhale. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, maybe lift a bit more. And we're going to move with the breath. As we inhale, arms are coming back to the T, palm down. Exhale, engage the legs, swing the fingers down, and lift the face off the floor. So it's kind of like we're doing snow angels, but we're on our belly. So inhale, come back, forehead to the ground, palms to the ground, like a T. As you exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together as the fingers reach to the bottom of the mat and the face peels off the floor. Inhale, come back down. 2 more times. Exhale. So the tops of the feet are staying on the ground, you guys, facing the floor with your eyes. Inhale, forehead to the ground. This time with an exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Fingers are reaching to the bottom of the mat, and then peel the feet off the floor. So now we're in locust, okay? And if it feels right, you can even clasp your hands behind your back. Feel the activity going on in the back of the body with no tension in the neck. Really lift as much as you can. One more inhale, and then exhale, forehead to the ground. Okay, bend your knees so the thighs are on the ground, and see if you can reach back and grab your feet. Okay, if you can't grab your feet, you're not going to force this, you guys. Okay, you could even just do one, and then do the other side. You've got both feet, your forehead's on the ground. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Squeeze your inner thighs. Kind of push the pelvis down into the ground. Feet push into the hands pull onto the feet. Thighs lift off the floor. And really just begin to feel into the breath. So this is bow pose. Lots happening through that front line. Feel all of that. Just feel all the sensations of opening. One more inhale. And as you exhale, just slowly release everything to the ground. If it feels okay in your arms, let them be at your side with your palms up. Just turn your head to the left with your right cheek on the ground. So prone shavasana, nothing to do, be invited into that exhalation. Hear and feel the exhale. Maybe even going a little bit further on that exhale. right into the pause at the end of the exhale. Turn your head so your left cheek is on the floor. Relax your eyes, your jaw. Just feel the breath in the back of the body. Just letting go here, every exhalation. Okay, and then just slowly bring your forehead to the ground. Bring your palms right near your chest on the floor. Draw your elbows in, tuck your toes under, and lift your butt off the floor a bit. So this is called 8-point pose. So you've got 8 points connecting to the ground. Your toes, your knees, your palms, your heart center, and either your chin or your forehead. If you don't practice this a lot, you'll want it to be your forehead. So draw those elbows in, feel into the heels of the hands, pushing into the mat, squeeze into the core, keep drawing those elbows in, feel your inhale, and then as you exhale, push into your hands. It's like a reverse press up. And then you're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold. Big toes come together, knees come almost as wide as the mat, and then you're gonna settle your pelvis down and bring your arms in and bring your forehead to your folded hands. So this really helps just to neutralize the spine. Feel your breath. Nice wide-legged child's pose. Just feel the inhale into the back of the body. Nice expansion. Long exhalation. Pelvis drops back a little bit more and you're just relaxing all the way through the spine. So if you feel like you need a little sip of water at this point, you could do that. Okay, and as your spine rolls up, we're going to move through what's called a vinyasa. So we've been kind of dipping into vinyasa a little bit through the practice, but we'll just kind of talk a little bit about the 4 poses that we get into. So there's downward facing dog, there's plank, there's chaturanga dandasana, there's an extension, which is either going to be up dog or cobra, and then you're back to downward facing dog. Okay, so it's a inhale into plank, exhale to chaturanga dandasana, inhale extension of the spine, exhale downward facing dog. So there's 2 breaths in the vinyasa. So really, if we're moving through 5 of these, it's 10 breaths. Okay, so you can modify as needed, bringing your knees to the ground when you need to. Your eyes can be open or closed. I'll guide you through a couple at my breath rate. But then what I'd like you to do is really honor that inner listening and do what feels right. Okay. So as you find your table pose, tuck your toes under, come way back into the balls of your feet. Really high on the balls of your feet, big bend in the knees. So you can really get back into the strength of your legs here. Your arms are going to be where they are at, and if you need to move and adjust, do it with the lower body. Okay, so find your downward facing dog. Okay, inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. So again, your knees can come to the mat. Inhale, push through the heels of your hands and lift your heart. And then as you exhale, those toes tuck under, and you exhale up and back into downward facing dog. So let's do 4 more like that. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Feel that nice extension into the spine as the pelvis drops. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. 3 more with your breath. Plank as you inhale. See how slow you can go so that you can't bypass any feeling or message that your body is cueing to you. The slower you go, exhale, inhale, heart lifts, exhale, downward facing dog. See if you can even do it with your eyes closed here. Inhale, exhale, and then you root back into your downward facing dog. And just, so vinyasa is designed for a lot of reasons. Great for transitioning in between poses, but it really evokes some movement of energy in your body. So I really encourage you here to feel that energy. This life force energy now pulsing through your nice, open, spacious body. Feel this. Your aliveness, always here. Really just being curious and feeling it. Slowing that exhales down. Long exhalations. Okay. So again, after a little bit of moving and energy like that, if you need a sip of water at any point, take a sip of water and just roll your spine up. So we're gonna play with a pose called Supta Virasana. I think I'm gonna face this way so I can get a sunbeam in my face. Okay, so you're gonna come all the way up to the front of your mat, and you're gonna bring your big toes together and widen your knees so that you're sitting on your heels. Okay, this is the way I teach Supta Virasana and practice it. If you have a different way and you know your body, I want you to honor that. If this isn't working for your ankles and your knees, you might try sitting on 1 or 2 blocks between your ankles. There are variations, like I call them bus stops, where you can pause and really be in the pose. So please listen to your body. Don't keep going into the pose just because I'm demonstrating it. Okay, so just listen to your body. And remember, you have to come up and out of the pose. Okay, never moving into any sort of pain or tension. So just feel this version first. Get nice and open through the spine and the body. Feel your breath. Okay, this could be your pose right here, Virasana. You want to open a little bit more. Draw your hands back behind you. See if you can turn your fingertips away from you. So you're just pushing into your fingertips. Then you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades and open your heart. Shins stay nice and rooted. Maybe you stay here. If you want to go a bit further, push your shins into the mat and lift the pelvis up. As the bum comes back down towards the heels, just slowly come down onto your forearms and let your head drop back. So this is tough sometimes to stay here for too long with ease and breath because the head doesn't want to dangle. Okay, so listen to your body, please. Always honor where you're at. Maybe stay here, come back up to the first pose, or if it feels available, with control, you come down onto the back of your head, trying to keep the shins rooted into the ground. Option with the arms to come into a cactus arm or a diamond. Really big opening through the front of the body here. So you want to just make sure that you're not feeling any sort of tension in your low back. Supta Virasana, big opening through the front of the body. So just be invited in to the version here that feels right for you. Nice long exhalations. Feel those exhales. One more full breath in whatever version of the pose that you're in. The exhale is slowing down. As you slowly come back up, take a pause. Feel the opening. So when we open like that through the front of the body, it really evokes a certain kind of energy. So just ground it. Feel it. There's a tingling sensation all the way out to the edges of your body. Feel this. That aliveness. Okay, so take your hands to the ground, step up and back, find downward facing dog again. Okay, so we're going to be moving into a pose called pigeon pose. So this is all about hip mobility. Okay, we really don't want to bring opening, we want to bring mobility. It's a bit different wording. Okay, so pay attention, make sure you feel no pain, tension in your knee joint here. If you do, I'll give you modifications. So you're gonna lift your left leg off the ground, look forward, and draw your left knee into your left wrist. So your hip is rotating, and your foot is swinging because your hip's rotating. So rotate your hip and place your shin down, and drop your right knee to the ground. Okay? So your back toes are gonna stay tucked under, and your back knee is on the ground. Okay? Your fingertips are on the ground, you're looking to the floor. So this is a great point to assess, okay, what does my body need? Maybe a block under the left hip if you're dropping over. If you feel anything in your knee, you could try a version of this, shin under the thigh. Okay, still not supporting the pose. Come onto your back and you thread the needle. Okay, so lift up through the heart. If it feels right, drop down onto your forearms. You can stay here. This is a more active version of pigeon. If it feels available, you want to release a bit more. Release the toes, top of the foot to the floor. And you can even release your forehead to the ground or to your folded hands. Again, just paying attention that you're not loading the left knee. Okay, so make sure it's feeling right. How do you know it feels right? Okay, listen to your body. One really good indicator that you're in the right place for your body on this side is that the breath starts to lengthen out. So feel the exhalation, the draw, the lure of the breath all the way to the end of the exhalation. Okay, as you feel your inhale into your back body, your spine rolls up, your hands come to the ground, and you step up and back and just release that left leg. Come back into downward facing dog, just feeling the difference from one side to the other. Release the right leg up. Maybe even bend the knee a little bit. Just play with what feels right as you look forward. Draw your right knee into your right wrist. And again, you're rotating your right hip. So then your shin goes down, your left knee to the floor, toes tuck into the mat, lift up through the heart. So we're bringing some extension into the spine. So here's where if you feel yourself tipping over to the right, you place a block under your right hip or your right butt, okay? So be here, assess what's right for your body, especially with this right knee, okay? You can always take your shin under your thigh or go onto your back for thread the needle. Inhale, lift the heart. And as you exhale, come down onto your forearms. If that's not working, use a block. If it feels available and right, release the top of the foot. And maybe even your forehead goes to the floor or a block. So pretty big sensations can arise in these bigger poses. This is why we do them at this stage of the practice. So just feel into the breath. Feel into the breath. Nice big inhalations, exhalations. Feel your inhale. As you exhale, slowly roll the spine up, take your palms to the floor, back toes tuck under, lift that right leg up and back. Last downward facing dog here. So feel from the ground up, the palms root into the ground, pelvis and spine draw up and back. Just feeling into that nice space that you created. So no more striding, just get rooted and grounded here. Long, spacious exhalations. Okay, then slowly drop the knees to the ground, pelvis to the heels. Slowly release into child's pose. And slowly roll your spine all the way up. And just shift your legs out in front of you. So this is called Dandasana, okay? Staff pose. So we're not going to stay here for too long, but I do want you to kind of feel your two sit bones on the ground. And then just bend your right leg. So again, if it's not the same side as me, this is my right leg. So I want you to bend your right leg. And you might just stay like this, okay? If it feels right, just cross that foot over the left leg, lift up through the heart. So I want you to feel like your shoulders are level and relaxed, okay? Take your right hand to your chest and just keep holding the right leg with your left hand, kind of pull it in and lift up. So the pelvis is your grounding. So your pelvis roots down, gives your spine rebound as you open to the right. And your right hand can come back behind you, okay? So you're just kind of tenting into your fingertips. So you don't want to feel locked or any sort of pulling in your lower back, sacrum, shoulders are level. Chin is parallel to the floor. Watch you're not forcing and pulling too much. The engine of the twist is through all these muscles around your torso. So eventually it might even be that you can take your gaze a little bit more over to the right. Notice where you can go with this. Find your breath. No tension in the neck. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Take your gaze up. And exhale, release forward. Shake your legs out. Start from staff pose, Dandasana. Left leg comes in. Crosses over the right. So feel that. Shoulders level. Keep holding the right hand to the left leg, left hand to the chest. And just rotate. Just rotate to the left. Watch you're not being too forceful. So there's not a lot of pulling with this right hand. Really all you're doing here is just kind of gently pulling the leg up. Shoulders stay parallel. Chin is parallel to the floor. And then the left hand goes back behind you, just to tent into the fingertips. That's just helps guide the spine up. Pelvis is being pulled down. Spine is being pulled up. Look as far as you comfortably can to the left. Feel your breath. So again, twist, so invigorating, really healthy for the spine. supports digestion, always doing the right side first and then the left. Feel your breath. Never being forceful, always allowing it to feel right. Inhale, reach up, look up, and exhale, release. Shake your legs out. Shake them up. And then we're going to go into Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet are going to come together. And you're going to take your hands back behind you, fingertips point away from you. Relax your shoulders. So don't get forceful here. Just let gravity help release you. So feel this nice opening into the heart. No tension. Where can you let go? Just feel your amazing hips just releasing. So then, as you unweight your hands, you're gonna hold your shins or your ankles, but a lot of us, our spines are gonna be rounded, so you're gonna try to pull on your shins a little bit and feel your two sit bones on the ground and get nice and spacious, like you're in mountain pose with your spine. And be pulled forward from your heart center. So see where you can go. Might just be like a millimeter. Watch the head isn't going forward. We're not rounding here. Get nice and spacious through the spine. Find the breath. And then you might want to stay here depending on what's going on in your spine. Or you can wiggle your feet away from you a little bit. Pelvis goes away. Totally find some relaxation. And draw your chin down. And try to find the rounding here of the spine, the head. Just watch you're not being forceful here. This is just letting go to gravity. So you might find and feel into that exhalation. Okay, slowly roll the spine back up. Draw your knees together. Just face the front of your mat in a comfortable seated position. We're going to finish with what's called Kapala body breath. So this is called a Kriya. It's an inner cleansing technique. Nice just to enliven sensation in the body. The other name for this is the skull shining breath. Okay. You would not do this if you were pregnant. If that was the case, just breathe normally. Other than that, if you start feeling dizzy or nauseous, just let it go. Come back to the regular rhythm of the breath. We won't do too many rounds. The focus here is on the exhalation. So as you feel your exhale go through your nose, your belly's drawing in, and you just pull it a little bit more in. The inhale is just going to occur. So it looks like this. Join in when you're ready. Relax your eyes, your jaw, your upper body isn't doing this. Every exhalation, belly draws in and up. A few more rounds. And then slowly let it go. Come back to a regular rhythm of breath. It's moving in and out of the nose. And just be drawn inward to feel the result of your practice. This spaciousness within you and all around you, no separation. Be invited back to your mat for Shavasana. So Shavasana, just lying your entire back body to the ground. So the top of the head comes to the top of the mat. You might start with your knees bent. See what it feels like to draw your arms slightly away from your body. Turn your palms up. Maybe drop your legs out to the bottom corners of your mat. Be invited into the practice of Shavasana where there is nothing to do and there's nowhere to go. Every exhalation, the breath lures you back to yourself. So as you sit steady in this home state of just being, nothing to do and nowhere to go, but a connection to your senses being wide open, an aliveness that's ever present. Feel this home ground of just being. And you come back into this remembering that this is always present. This is a piece of you. It's not broken. It's healed, whole, and healthy. It's revealment. Through your dedicated practice, nourish that here. As we embrace our humanness and we start to move and come back to the amazing thinking of the mind, this home ground, this home state just gets a little bit hidden. It's always present. So find yourself looking for it, even as you start moving. Just wiggling your fingers and your toes a little bit, maybe keeping your eyes closed. Slowly drawing your knees in towards you, roll over to one side. Take a pause and a breath. As you come up to find a comfortable seated position, again, your eyes can be closed or your gaze is low. Feel back into stillness. Feel your ground, your breath, and your spine. Feel that inner resource of well-being, always present. Draw your hands to your heart. Take it with you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming and showing up and for your practice, and I'll definitely see you again. If you have questions, let me know. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Jaylene.
Thank you. Bye. See you next time.